Hello and welcome back. In the last section we looked at the various productions after we have a number of workers and factors of resources, factors of production, and then we calculated average production and marginal production and so forth. Here we are using those production numbers and we're going to find out based on those production numbers what our costs are. Specifically, we're going to figure out total cost, average total cost, and marginal cost. So let's take a look at the numbers here. In the first column, we have L, which stands for labor, or the number of workers. And as you can see, it increases from 0 to 1, 2, and 3. Now, in order to calculate cost, we have to know how much each worker is paid by the company. So let's use some really easy numbers. Let's say that the worker is getting paid $2 per week. In reality, maybe it's $200 or $2,000. But let's just use, for simple math purposes, we'll use $2 as the payment for each worker per week. But when we don't have any workers, of course, we don't have any total workers. So the TWC is total worker cost. So at 0 workers, we don't have any. At 1 worker, of course, we have $2 because we pay $2 per worker. At 2, we have 4. And when we have 3 workers, it's 6. Now let's calculate the cost for the land. Let's say that we have 3 acres of land that we're using for our production. And let's suppose that each acre of land costs $4, say on average $4 per week. So total land cost, we'll abbreviate that with TLC, total land cost. And even if we have no workers in the first row, we have fixed input of land. We still have to pay for that, even if we're not producing anything. And so 3 times 4, so 3 times 4 is 12, so the cost for those 3 acres of land is 12. Now since it's fixed, it's going to be 12 all the way down the column. Next column we have 4 machines. That's also fixed. Let's say that we pay $3 for each machine per week. So in the first row at 0 workers, we have 4 times 3, that is also 12. 4 times 3 for the next row is 12. So that happens to be, it's coincidental, it happens to be also 12 for the total machine cost. So the total cost for the capital equipment. Now total cost is just all of those costs added up. So we have worker cost here, 0, and then 12, and 12 for the land and for the machines. So that adds up to 24. And if we go to the next row where we have 1 worker, we have the total worker cost of 2. And of course the machines and the land is 12 plus 12, so that's 24 again. 24 plus 2 is 26. So total cost is 26 in the next one. Total worker cost in the next row is 4. Plus 12 plus 12 is 28. And then the next one, of course, is 6 plus 12 plus 12 is 30. So now that we have total costs, we also want to figure out average total cost, ATC, and then after that, marginal cost. First, we need to make up some numbers for total production. Let's say that total production, of course, when we have no workers, it's 0, so that's in the first row. And then let's say that we are producing 2 products, perhaps 2 computers or 2 cars, when we have 1 worker. And then let's make this 7 for total production when we have 2 workers. And then we're going to make up this number here, and we're going to say it's 10. Total production is 10 products when we have 3 workers and when our total cost is 30. So what is our average total cost? Well, we have no production here, so we've got to put a dash here, and we don't have any additional production because there's nothing before this, so a dash with marginal cost. The next row, total cost is 26. And so average total cost, now average total cost is total cost per product. So we have to divide by the total number of products. So it's 26 divided by 2, and that is equal to 13. Next, we have total production of 7. Total cost is 28. So if we figure out average total cost, which is total cost per product, so total cost 28 divided by the number of products 7, 28 divided by 7 is equal to 4. So that went down drastically. And the last one, we have 30 products that we're producing, and we're making 10 products, so 30 divided by 10 is equal to 3. So it went down even more there. Marginal cost. Marginal cost is the additional cost per product. So how does that work? Well, first of all, we have to realize that the additional cost from this level to this level, from 24 to 26, the additional cost is 2, but we're making 2 extra products, so it's 2 divided by 2. And that equals 1, so the marginal cost is 1 there. And total cost continues to go up here by 2 from 26 to 28, so it's 2 divided by, but now the total number of products goes up by 5, 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5, so 2 divided by 5, because marginal cost is the change in total cost divided by the change in the production. So 2 divided by 5 is 0.4 for that one. And the last one, total cost increases by 2 again, so the change in total cost is 2. And then the change in the total production is from 10 to 7. There's a change of 3. So that's 0.66 and so forth. So 0.67 rounded up. And there is your marginal cost. It goes from 1 to 0.4 to 0.7. We will look at more costs in addition to total cost, average total cost, and marginal cost in our next unit, Unit 5.